For years, we waited to find out who was next, and now we found out who's last. Let's get to it. Welcome, everybody, to the announce table. My name is Mike DeSanto. I'm your host, your esteemed wrestling fan here at Cinco Squad, and this week we have a double whammy, a double header of big shows. Saturday night's main event on Saturday night, and the second edition of Evolution, the all-women's pay-per-view, on Sunday night. So I'm going to be going through my predictions for both shows. Saturday night's main event is a much shorter card. Evolution, thankfully, is a much bigger card. I'm excited to see both. So let's get to it. First, Saturday night's main event, where we have 4 matches as of now scheduled. So I'm going to go one by one as per usual. Do the championship matches last, especially what we all know is going to be the main event. So first, Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Now, everybody knows that Saturday night's main event, for the most part, tends to be a glorified house show. We get some interesting matchups, but it's never really like a full pay-per-view PLE type of situation. So Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre is one of those matches that you love to see on a house show. There's not a whole lot going on as far as story here. Maybe there will be more. I feel like this is a match to set up both of them for what they're doing next, which is hopefully both challenging for world titles. They both deserve it, even though the main event picture can only hold so many people. But I would love to see both of them come out of this match and get world championship matches in the near future. I think both of them can. This is going to be a good match. You know what? I think Randy's established enough he can take a loss. Let's get Drew a win kind of on the board. He's been up and down, lackluster booking the last few months, so I'll give the win to Drew McIntyre. LA Knight versus Seth freaking Rollins, also in a singles match. Again, this has kind of been one of those matches that's been building to happen, but not a whole lot, I think, is going to come out of it after this. I don't think we're building to a larger storyline. And being that he's Mr. Money in the Bank, I think Seth Rollins has to win here. But he'll win by shenanigans, so LA Knight won't take a bad loss. He'll just probably get beat up by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and maybe even Paul Heyman. Maybe Heyman will get a kick in there. He should. He should get a kick in every once in a while. Next, the U.S. title match between Solo Sikoa. I hate you, Solo. I don't actually hate you, Solo Sikoa, but it was a good line. Versus Big Jimmy Uso. Apparently, Solo is just going to go up against the whole bloodline at some point. I mean, I don't think Saturday night's main event is where we're going to bring back Roman, the head of the table, to face Solo. Even though I do think Roman's going to end up coming back and siding with Jacob. I think we're building to Solo Jacob at SummerSlam, which would make sense at this point. So Solo gets the win here. Again, probably via shenanigans, people attacking JC Mateo and the Tongas. All 3 of them now, which, welcome, Tala Tonga, Hikuleo, whatever you want to call them. Welcome to WWE. I'm excited to see what you can do. But, yeah, Solo's going to retain here. I can't possibly see Jimmy winning the title here. Quick card, obviously. We get to our main event, which is definitely going to take up, I think, despite who's in the match, the lion's share of the show. I feel like even though Orton, McIntyre, and Knight Rollins, I think, are going to get a fair amount of time, and Solo Jimmy might get a fair amount of time. This is definitely the main event. This is Goldberg's retirement match, and it is for the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. It's tough. It's tough for me to say who exactly is going to win here, but I have an idea. I think I was talking with a buddy of mine, Ryan, at work, big wrestling fan. We've been talking about how this is going to go. I think this will be Goldberg's longest match because it's his last one, so you don't got to save him for anything. I think he's gotten himself in good shape. I think this will be at least a 10-15 minute match, which is long for a Goldberg match. And I think Goldberg's going to win. Now, for those that are now screaming at the screen, how can you possibly have Goldberg win the World Heavyweight Championship in his retirement match? I said earlier that Seth freaking Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank, and now is the time. I think Seth is going to cash in on Goldberg. I mean, imagine Goldberg gets to go out to a round of applause as World Heavyweight Champion, and then the heat comes on when Rollins takes it away. being the man that really retired Goldberg by stealing his World Heavyweight Championship, stealing his final moment before he gets a final moment alone after Rollins leaves with the title, will be massive heat. It can push us all the way to the Rumble as far as him being a heel. It makes sense Rollins is World Heavyweight Champion. I've said in past episodes that I think Braun Breaker is going to be the one to actually take the title from Seth when he turns face again. And so I think we're building to that. Seth wins the title here by cashing in his Money in the Bank. Then we get to say goodbye to Goldberg, and then the show goes off the air. So that's Saturday night's main event. That's how we're retiring Goldberg. Let me know what you think in the comments, how you think this is going to go down, and your favorite memory of Goldberg. Mine, personally, is not beating Bray Wyatt when he shouldn't have. It's actually the first time he won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship because that was, I mean, he was on his win streak and it was incredible. And it was awesome. It was awesome to see that Goldberg. Next, we have on Sunday night, Evolution 2, the all women's pay per view. And thank God they brought it back. I would imagine Hunter's been waiting to bring it back. The roster's been ready. I'm all for the women getting their own pay per view because they deserve the spotlight. They've got some incredible talent there, some incredibly underrated talent. This is a longer card, like I said. So we're going to start, I guess, with the kind of up in the air one, which is the Battle Royal. There's a women's Battle Royal, might open the show actually, for a women's world championship match at Clash in Paris, which is another show I'm super excited about. The participants haven't all been announced, although some of the announced participants, including Stephanie Vicaire, Ivy Nile, Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, since she can't do the thing with Liv, Natalia, Maxine Dupree, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Lash Legend, Izzy Dame, Tatum Paxley, Zelina Vega, Julia, and Candice LeRae. All great talents in there. Super excited to see them. As far as those have been announced, if there's going to be a winner of those announced, I'm going to take Stephanie Vicaire. They've already given Julia that kind of slight push on the main roster already. She's won the U.S. title. And now I think it's time for Vicaire to get one. She's going to win this, get the championship match at Clash in Paris against two. I'm not quite sure yet. I don't know who exactly they'd have her challenge quite yet. But I think she's going to get the World Championship match. And it's going to be a great battle royal. Again, there's going to be a showcase of talent. I'm pretty excited about this one. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Now, I think we're building to Jade Cargill versus Naomi for the Women's Championship at SummerSlam. I think that's where we're headed here. So it's a no-holds-barred match, which means they're just going to beat the hell out of each other, as they should. I think we're going to get a more formal match at SummerSlam for the world title after Naomi cashes in and wins. If she cashes in, wins before then, which I have a feeling she might. I feel like this is going to be like a double knockout thing where it's like you can't exactly, like, you're either going to put down Jade, which you don't want to do because of how hard you've been pushing her, or you're going to put down Naomi, but you just had her win Money in the Bank, so I feel like you can't do that. So, like, a double knockout or, like, they have to be pulled apart before they kill each other type of thing. I don't think this has a conclusion where somebody wins. I think it's just they fight until neither of them can fight anymore and it's a draw and nobody wins. Fatal four-way for the Women's Tag Team Championships. The team of the Judgment Day, which is Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, who has stepped in for Liv Morgan as a member of the Judgment Day and as a champion, versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, the kind of, tentative allies here, Sol Ruka and Zarya. I love them on NXT. They've been doing great. And the revival of the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Super excited about this one. I love them as the Kabuki Warriors. I love them back together. It makes sense. I think it's going to push both of them even further. They're both super talented, like I said, so I think that's going to be good. But I can't see the Judgment Day losing this. It's going to be a fun match. I hope they do the tornado tag thing where there's a representative from each team in the ring and we're not tagging other teams in because that doesn't make sense. Why would we tag in a team that could beat us? So I hope they do the tornado tag type of thing where they have 4 representatives in the ring at all times. But I can't see the Judgment Day losing this. They got to keep the titles on them until Liv comes back because it creates a whole mess of dynamic, which I love when Liv comes back and probably feuds with Roxanne over the Judgment Day and Judgment Day splits and all that, like we've expected for a long time. So I think the Judgment Day win this match. Next up, we have the triple threat for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Current champion Becky Lynch defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I think Becky's retaining here because I think Bayley and Lyra are about to start a feud. I don't know. It just seems like it's a slow simmer where I think they're going to get in each other's way. Becky takes advantage as a heel, wins the match. Three talented women. Becky, I think she's going to go film a TV show, so maybe one of them wins it off, or maybe if I'm going to have somebody win it, it's going to be Bayley. Lyra already had it. She had a good reign. I didn't think it was a good idea to take it off her at the time, but I think Bayley getting a title now makes sense. I would like to see it because Bayley deserves it. So if anyone's going to beat Becky, let it be Bayley. But I feel like Becky's going to retain and like take the title away, which is going to suck. And then whoever comes out of the Bayley Lyra feud ends up beating Becky eventually, probably at SummerSlam or something like that. The women's WWE Women's Championship match. It's Tiffany Stratton defending against Trish Stratus. I mean, I love Trish Stratus. I love Tiffany Stratton. I feel like I would have rather have seen somebody that, you know, is currently on the roster full time face Tiffany for the belt. But I get it. They want to have at least one legend wrestling at Evolution again, so you put Trish Stratus in there. Tiffany will beat Trish Stratus, get the rub from there, and, move on. Jacy Jayne is going to defend her NXT Women's Championship against Jordynne Grace. I love Jordynne Grace, and I think Jacy Jayne's been a great champion. I don't think Grace gets the belt yet. I want to see what Jayne has in store for the remainder of her reign. I think it needs to go a little longer. It was an interesting pick at giving her the title. So let's run with it. Let's see what she's got. I think her, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix are an interesting trio. Jacy's always been in trios, it seems, but has never been the focal point of a trio like this. So I want to see where she can kind of take the ball now that she has it, so to speak. So let's have Jacy retain here. Jordan's going to get the title eventually. We all know that before she gets called up to the main roster. She's probably in line for a post-Rumble or post-Mania call-up next year. Give her the title before then. We'll be fine. But let Jacy hold it for a little longer. Finally, who I expect to be the main event, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, singles match for the Women's World Championship. And if you would ask me a month ago, I would have said no shot that Rhea loses this match. But Io has been getting over big time, just like Rhea has. I think you keep the belt on her. Again, let's see where she can take it. Rhea is a star with or without the belt. She will win back the championship at some point. I don't think it's off Io. I think it's off of whoever beats Io. I'm not sure who that's going to be right now. Maybe it's Naomi. Maybe it's not. I think Naomi's taking it off Stratton, just to be fair. But I think Io can win this match. Not hurt Rhea too much. Again, she's a star without it. She'll remain a star. Let's keep boosting Io up because she's been doing great work. People love her, and I'm a big fan of her holding this title coming out of this pay-per-view. So that's the weekend in wrestling for you. Saturday night's main event, Evolution 2. I think both are going to be good shows. Personally, I think Evolution 2 is going to be better. I think they've got the better matches as expected. But I'm going to be watching both of them. I'm super excited to see them. Let me know what you think is going to be the winners of each of these matches, what your opinions are of the shows. And once the shows are over, going into the week, let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to like, share, subscribe at Cinco Squad Pod 05 for more wrestling content, more sports content. We got a lot coming through the summer, into the fall. We're going to be rapidly heading towards football season. Baseball's heating up, all that. Make sure to check out the main show. Just dropped a new episode, episode 168. We got episode 169 coming next week. We got some big things planned. We got big things in store for you. Again, Cinco Squad Pod 05 on all our socials. And I will see you all next time at the table.